So I'm going to share my screen. I'm sorry if you have seen presentations so much like Michael mentioned. For those of you who are, if you have not if you can mute yourself, would be really great, just so then we can minimize some of the echoes. So my name is Vanessa Lee. I am the career counselor or career specialist for graduate students and international students. So today I'm going to be talking to you a little bit about our services, specifically for our graduate students. Let me see if my thing works. You see my screen fine, right? A thumbs up would be great. Okay. So very quickly sharing, we currently have one graduate student that's supporting me with programming. She's also an international student. Her name is Varisha Pereira. She currently works as a our graduate student GSA Career Center liaison. So GSA stands for Graduate Student Association. I will recommend you all to get on their listserv because they have a lot of great programming and information. So you see my email, feel free to email me if you have any questions. The only thing I ask you not to email me is your resume. We do not review resume over internet, over emails, because I tend to ask a lot of questions, make it very hard. And also with very jam-packed schedule, I usually don't have time to do that. So I apologize for that. So that's my contact. I will also save this and share with Kelly. If any students would like to get a copy, you're more than welcome to get that. All right. So before we get started, I'd like you all, if you can put it in the chat, true or false. I'm going to make this statement. So just a little test, right? Because most of you are coming here because you want to use this graduate degree to bring you to your next phase of your career. So many of you are probably hoping to stay here and work. So I'd like to ask you a little bit about what you know in US job search. So for your resume, do you need to put your picture, date of birth, your nationality on it? True or false? Yes or no? No, false, false, false. Okay. Okay, great. Please don't do that. Yes, please do not put any of those information on your resume. Just your name, your address, or even not your address, your email, phone number. If you have LinkedIn. For those of you who have GitHub or your personal site, you can put that too. All right, great. Second way, best way for international students to find internships or jobs is through networking. True, false? Yes. All right, you guys are on. Awesome, great. This is the most effective way. We do have workshops talk about that. And when we say networking, it's not necessarily just asking somebody to get you the job. That's not how it works. It is how you get to know people. They get to know you. They may refer you the job. Many of you probably heard of this, like an employee referral program for a lot of the big companies. That's one of them. But also from knowing alumni, finding out about job opportunities could be one of those as well. All right. I need to apply for as many jobs as possible. Okay. Okay, so this one, I'm actually gonna say a no, okay? I tell students you're in a specialized program. You should not be applying for 1,000 jobs, okay? Please really
Vanessa Lee idea.
Can you please mute yourself? I'm sorry, I can hear you. Make sure that you apply for jobs only matching your skill sets, because I have students who spend months looking for a job because they apply for anything, as many as they could. And also that took so much time. Actually have very, very few return from the employers. So I always tell them be very picky about what you put, how it matches with your resume, okay? Yes and no, though. I saw, I have students who have success rates. Actually, several PhD students have that success rate because they match the job description to that. They actually got the first job to apply for and got the job offer. So it's really about how you search for that. There are cases that may not be depending on your skill sets. So I would say be selective and don't apply for everything. Right. And then GPA is more important than anything else to an employer. False. Okay. That's great. That's fantastic. Great answers. No, GPA is not important to employers. And plus, for graduate student, if you don't get a B and above, you fail the class anyway. So, it is not as important as your experiences, your projects. Okay, only pay job matters to employers. No. All right, you guys are pretty wrong. Yeah. So employers care also a lot about your volunteering leadership. So a lot of you should be getting involved with different student organization. Like, for those of you in PhD program, a lot of your mini GSA, meaning that if you're, for example, in chemistry department, they have, I think, graduate student association for chemistry students. So be involved, or our international student union. We have also our international student advisory committee. Be involved in these. These are very, very important to employers. Okay. And also must tell employer, I need H-1B sponsorship immediately when you meet an employer. Yes or no? Okay. So please do not, for those of you who are in here, if I see you doing that in a career fair, I'm going to yell at you. Do not walk up to an employer and tell them that I'm an international student, I need sponsorship. That shuts down the conversation immediately. Employers have told us, please tell your students stop telling us that, because there's nothing we can do. If they tell us that, that's it. Okay. So you basically, what you do if you tell employer that is that you tell employer, I come with a few $1,000 cost before you know my skill sets. That's what it sounds like to them. So always have them get to know you, get to know your skill sets. That's a lot more important and very, very effective that way. Okay, so don't tell them I need a sponsorship. Do I sponsor? Don't ever do that. That will come when you apply for a job. They will ask you to check boxes. And a lot of times you don't even need to mention if they don't ask until the job offer stage. Okay, all right, so we're gonna move on to the presentation. Feel free to chat me on the chat. I'm looking at it. So if you have any question, ask me to stop. I'm pretty informal. For this, what I'm showing is that while you're in your program, don't think about just developing your technical skills. Please also consider developing these skill sets. So what these ACE skill sets are actually very important to employers. They are created by employers and college or university career center. It's called the NACE, National Association of College and Employers. So basically all the Fortune 500 company and above. I'm sorry, if anybody who have your mic on, can you please mute it? I'm hearing like a loud noise. I really appreciate that. Thank you. So these are the skill sets they want you to develop. So it's not just the classroom learning. Student organization I mentioned, volunteer projects, a lot of different things that you can do, or internship, help you develop these ACE skill sets. That's what they're looking for when they look for employees, not just your technical skills. All right. So we are here in the Career Center. We're actually across from Sky Hall. You can see us. For example, Michael can see our office straight from his office window. So we're right there, we're that close. So we do open in person, but we have very limited in-person appointments. We tell students that if you want to come see us, I think virtual is still the easiest, because this is, so we do have like a both virtual and in-person option. We have Express Career Advising, where it's 15 minutes. You can sign up on the same day, or we also have one-on-one appointments. Okay, so you can check it out on our website. And as for graduate student career services, what we offer is we help graduate students really think about the whole cycle of job search as well as career development. Is what do I need to do? We start with skills building workshops, and then we bring it into different industry, bring it into the focus, having you talk with employers or alumni. And then eventually moving on to, okay, so I need to practice interview. And then I also need to figure out if I get a job offer, how do I deal with that? So we have series of workshops starting from fall quarter to spring quarter that we offer to all graduate students. I will definitely look at this if you see anything says our grad professional pathway. So that will all be designated for graduate students. I think on the next slides, we have information regarding what we have for fall right now. It's all on Handshake, and I'll show you later. We also have a summer workshop series that have very similar but condensed, because I know a lot of PhD students, summer is the only free time you have for the next few years. And then we do also one-on-one counseling and coaching. So any graduate students or international students, you will be seeing me. I was an international student myself many years ago. So I know a lot of your challenges and also what wonderful skills you're bringing. So I work with students on resume or CV. On cover letter, we work on interview prep, or if the students have gotten a job offer, how to negotiate salary. That's very important. Employer expect you to negotiate, okay? And also some of students don't know what they're gonna do with a degree. I talk to students about that. I have students who decided that's not the program they want to go to. So how do we help transition? So I talk to students on a lot of these topics, and it's, we make sure that it's your private space and help support you in whatever direction you want to go to. And we also bring in employers that are targeting to recruit certain students. So for example, on Wednesday, for those of you who may be interested in environmental science or engineering, anything has to do with that part, there's a consulting firm called Exponent that is doing an information session just for PhD students. They hire a lot of PhD students, and for what I know, they do sponsor some of their positions. So this Exponent is a global consulting firm. So if you're interested in kind of seeing how your skill sets can help solve their problem, consulting is a very attractive option for a lot of PhD students. So we are bringing employers like this to come talk to you. And we will have different ones throughout the year. And I think we're going to have an entrepreneurship panel in winter quarter. So for those of you who want to start your business, we have something. All right. So we have a grad professional pathway page. So if you can see here, it's a, oops, sorry. We have a page dedicated to just graduate students. We have a lot of different resources there and information. So feel free to check it out and see what are some information you can find for either path for academia or non-academic career path. So one thing is that we do see, I mentioned earlier, we do see in-person appointments for students, but if you do want to come on campus, you have to do what they call a daily wellness survey every single time before you come on campus. You cannot just do one and think it's good for the rest of the week. So we check that, I'm gonna have you check that, and you have to show it to our front desk. And we don't review any documents. We don't touch anybody's paper and pen. So we ask you either to bring a computer or you send me the file in advance before your appointment. So I have many students just say, I'll just do it online. It's much easier because I sometimes will tell you, I need to end a couple of minutes early because I have another appointment because I have to sanitize everything I touch. We're going to be meeting in a conference room. So things like that. So these are the guidelines that we offer for students who would love to see us in person. But we do offer virtual appointments and there are a lot more availability for that. All right. So events, we have as a career center, this is not just specific to graduate students. The events that we have career fair. Our first one will be pertaining to business students. So those of you who are MBA program or accounting program, this will be the first fair we'll be looking for. Let me see, it's gonna be October 6th. So you can see it on our website. We have an events tab. You can click on that and click on career fair. It should be able to bring you there, but they are all on Handshake, which I will explain to you later. We also have different panels, employee information sessions, and different type of workshops. And like I said, it's not just for graduate students, it's for all students. Any questions so far? I'm going really fast. I'm sorry about that.
I do have a question. So today we had the orientation for our like mini GSA kind of meeting. And what happened was I asked, so can I get any other employment on campus? And they said if you're working as a GSR, that counts as 20 hours. So there's nothing you can really do. So just wanted to confirm that if you're, since we're all graduate students here, if you're working as a GSR or like a TA and that's 20 hours, you can't have any more employment on campus, correct?
If they say so, because they know the rules.
That is correct.
Yeah.
As an F1 student, you have automatic employment authorization for on-campus jobs, but it may not exceed more than 20 hours a week.
Mhm.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I have so unless they are like, for example, there are certain campus leaders. I know a student position is, for example, I want to say, like, for example, we have a position right now for PhD students to apply, and it's for it's like a stipend model, so it's not necessary. It's a little complicated, but that one is fine. But if it's salaried, I think you cannot do anything more than that because it's considered
Right.
student work.
So I've seen like some jobs on Handshake that say like, oh, we need a PhD student, you know, to be like a graduate peer advisor, etc.
And that's my job.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. So how can someone even possibly be a graduate student advisor as a PhD student if they're already working 20 hours as their GSR or the required TA that they have to do? How's that even possible?
I don't know the finances. Michael and Kelly can correct me if I'm wrong. It's a volunteer position technically, and then we give you a little stipend, you put it into a student account.
I would suggest, I mean, the general rule is that the regulations are quite clear. You're limited to 20 hours. Once you've reached that amount, you can't work further. But if you would like to discuss these other things with us, please feel free to send us an email at internationalstudents.ucr.edu. That's international students, written as one word. And we'll be happy to sit down and talk to you about that.
All right. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. So we also have, these are the events that I mentioned that we will have for graduate students only. 4 different workshops here by time. So first will be CV, and then we have how to navigate job search engine, because that's a lot of times what stump our students for job search when it's not successful. We also have a way of teaching students how to write cover letter effectively. For example, don't ever send out a generic cover letter because that will be the death to your application. And then the last one we have also, we're going to put a formal intern panel.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, if you can mute would be great. Thank you. We have a formal intern TELSO panel. We'll be bringing a few graduate students who have done internship in the past summer and come and talk to you about their experiences, because I know many of you are hoping to get an internship next summer. So they will be all via Zoom. So you can see the Zoom link here. So you can register on Handshake. I'm gonna show you Handshake very soon. So Handshake is basically the one portal that we have that we post on campus job. Unfortunately, very few for graduate students. Even for undergraduate students, there are not that many, because most of the student job positions are for work study students. That's for US citizens only, because of the work study funding. And but Handshake does have a lot of different opportunities for those of you who are looking for internships. And we also have different resources you can check out online. This is hyperlinked, so I will save this and send it to Kelly. So if any of you want to get a copy of that, you can definitely do that. But a lot of different workshops, they are recorded, or you can download PowerPoint. I will highly suggest going over them. And we also have social media. If you follow us, you can see our most recent workshop or different employer information. All right, so let's talk about Handshake. Can I just kind of get a yes, no Handshake so far? Handshake, yes, okay. So many of you know Handshake, so a little bit, okay. So Handshake, by the way, do not create an account. Do not create an account. Please don't do that. I really beg you, don't do that. Because I have to fix it afterwards. Every one of you have an account already created for you. All you need to do is either go in from our website to log in or go through our web. You will always log in with your net ID and password. Okay, that's already set for you. You don't need to worry about it. It's connected to your R web. So it's net ID and password. And once you get into Handshake, it will look like this. And then there are a lot of things you can do. You will see a lot of different information, and Handshake uses algorithm to help figure out what kind of jobs you're searching for, what are some of the things that you may be interested in. So it aggregates those information, kind of Netflix, for those of you who know what Netflix is. So basically, the more you look for a certain job, the more they're going to pull it for you. I can tell you all the big companies, like any Fortune 500s are all on here. And they post all kinds of jobs, even there are even a lot of different international jobs. So I will definitely look into that. And we also use it for events. We use it for many things. It's like, excuse me, a close network of LinkedIn. So employers may reach out to you if you make it open and you want them to contact you. Okay. So this will be what your profile look like. If you click on this little icon, this is my fake student profile. And if you click on that, you should see my profile should bring you to here. You can fill this information. You can keep your, like my profile is hidden from employer because I made it for demonstration only. You can put your passion, your information here. So it's pretty cool if you put those information on. Like I said, employers may reach out to you. Okay. And if you click on this Career Center tab, you should be able to see what you can make appointments here with me. And then you can also see different kind of resources that we offer. For example, a mock interview tool called Standout is embedded in this resource section. So all you need to do is click on Career Center and it'll bring you here. All right. And the next one is, how do I find events? You can find career fair by clicking click on the events tab, click on career fair. You can also go to filters, looking at different workshops or employer panel and things like that. Sometimes you will see we allow different companies to post a virtual session. So for example, Google did a session, we allow them to do that so all the students can sign up. So make sure you double check what are out there so you can do a search, okay? And then the next thing is jobs. So many of students use Handshake to look for jobs. So you can type whatever you kind of keywords you want here. It will aggregate here. If you click on this little thing, it saves it for you. Okay. And then it tells you what kind of jobs are out there. And you can filter them by location, full-time, and all that. One thing that's really cool about Handshake platform, no other platform has, is once you filter it, you scroll down, you can click on this tab. You can see if they accept OPT or CPT or they will sponsor or not. It will filter it for you. And for those of you who are saying, oh, I may want to be doing remote work, you can, I think there is one of the label down there, it says remote work allowed. So you can filter by that as well, okay? So that's something that a lot of students don't realize they can use. All right, I don't have a lot of time, gonna power through. You can also upload your resume or build your resume here. If you go on here, click on my documents, it will bring you to here. You can upload your resume, you can make it open for employers to see. And we help with resume, so make sure you work on that. So a strong US style resume is what you need before apply for any jobs. So a resume looks like this, an American style one, okay? Right, so it should look like this. Again, like no pictures, no other data. Should really be nothing too fancy. It's very simple because most of you will get the computer to screen you in or out of their process. So you need to make sure it's easy for them to read. Again, we help with that. So come make an appointment, we'll go over that with you. For school business, AGSM, you have a career center on your own. I think their advisors help with that as well. Yeah, you can do that. Internship on campus, off campus jobs as well. There are a lot of different things on it. Even fellowship for those of you who are a postdoc, for those who are looking for those as well. So, oops. Definitely need to have your resume reviewed before you apply for any position. We always recommend students don't do this alone. We are here to help you. You can set an appointment by going to that thing I was telling you earlier. Sorry, going back here. Here, if you click on go into Handshake, click on the Career Center tab, and you should be able to click on appointment and then set up an appointment through that. It's pretty simple after that. And I want to show one last thing before we end today is we have 2 programs specifically for international students this quarter. It's Go Get Hired. It used to be a series of workshops. Now we have divided into a whole year. So we'd like to give students opportunities to be able to learn a little bit about kind of the job search process. So one of them will be kind of building your LinkedIn, because this is one of the most effective way to look for jobs, and also help you to understand the job tracking, applicant tracking system. Okay, so let me know how I can help, and feel free to contact me. I'll be more than happy to support you, set up an appointment. If you don't know how to set up, you can send me an email or call our front desk. I think I am done with my presentation. I ended perfect time.
Right. Thank you guys for being here today. Vanessa has another presentation to do at 4:30. She put her email in the chat, so please get in touch with her if you have any questions, and thank you for being here today. Bye-bye, everyone.